Okay, now my screen is visible and the voice is audible, friends. Let me know that. Let me know that. Anyone, please.
Yes, Ravi.
Yeah. Okay. So now, okay. So in this situation, what is that? If we operation, right, transaction operation means create, update, delete, means he from here transaction operation also we have need to create it, right? After then what is that operation will happen, means save operation means save or delete or update, these operation will happen here. Okay na? After this operation what will happen, commit and rollback operation will happen, right? Means if database, in the database, what is that, data is storing successfully, then commit will happen. If not, if any by mistake any problem, right, the data is not storing in the database, then rollback operation will happen. Okay na? After then what is that, last is what is that, close the connection. We are calling the close the, whenever we are calling the close connection, right, session session close, right, close, close, right? Whenever we are closing the session means we are destroying the session, right? Whenever the session is destroyed, right, at the time what will happen means session will destroy it, right? Here what is that, session is destroyed. After all operations session will destroy it. But one more thing, these things I given based on what, non-select operation. But whenever we are performing what, select operation, from here session, from the session only, right, session only, the what is that, the things will happen. It will not, no need to perform what is that, transaction operation, no need to perform what, transaction operation, right? No need to perform what is that, transaction operation. Okay now, from the session only direct operation will happen, right? Direct operation will happen, and no need commit and roll back. After then session will close, right? After then from here only what will happen, the from here operation will happen. After then directly close operation will happen, right? Close operation will happen. Okay na? Close operation will happen. These in the select operation, in the case of select, in the case of what, select operation means if we want to select the data from the database, right? In the select operation what will happen, in the select operation just session object will create, session factory session object will create, operation will happen, and after then closing the connection, right? These things, this much operation will happen, this much operation will happen. What is that, using what, means, so these things we will do in the what, in the our test class, right? Our the test class. Okay na? So this is the code, and this is what, this is the test class operation, right? This much operation we will do in the test class. So let's write the test class also here, and based on that we will imaginate, right? We will imaginate at the time of development. Okay, so okay, so let's see that how we will write, what is that, how we will write, what is that, our what is that, transaction means our class, right? Our class, how we will write our class, test class. Okay na? uh, can I write here, let's create, okay, let's create the project and we will see there only, right? We will see there only. So okay, but if we want to perform what, hibernate operation, how many dependency we have need? First one, the hibernate core, Hibernate core. After then, what is that? I'm going to work on today MySQL, right? MySQL and Oracle also, both I will work. Okay, now, but I'm going to work MySQL. So MySQL, these two dependency we have need, right? To work a normal Hibernate application, right? To work a normal Hibernate application. Okay, na? So whatever theory till now we understood, right? So let's see as a practical, and where and what and how I'm going to do those things again. See, I'm doing this one. See, I'm doing this one, and when I will run the application, see, Hibernate doing like this, Hibernate is doing like this. Then at the time I will explain, right, what's happening and what, and see, in my theory only practical is there. Okay, so please listen, be carefully, and when I will introduce the spring tomorrow ORM, right, In the spring ORM I will touch each and everything here only, but this much code no need in the spring ORM. Everything is the abstraction only. Because of that I explained this one. Okay na, I explained this one only. And it's my promise, if you know Hibernate only one application as a properly, no need to learn whole Hibernate. You can able to work on whole Hibernate. Okay, so okay, so let's move on and as the practical only, right? So let's move on as a practical only, and we see that, right? We will see that the things. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to create one project, bro. Okay na, I'm going to create one project. So what is that? My one project. Okay, now next, what is that? What is that? Quick start. Next, what is this? Now just Hibernate app. Hibernate app, right? Now this one, Hibernate test application, just I'm writing. Okay na, so now what is this? 10 version, first version. Okay, okay, my project is created now. Okay, so I said that how many dependency we have, need two dependency. Okay na, so if we want to work on Hibernate, so let's go on the Chrome, right? Hmm. So which one we have need? Hibernate, what is that? Hibernate core Maven dependency. Okay, just take one final Hibernate, right? Final Hibernate dependency. My net is too much slow. Okay, copy this one and come inside that, right? Open where the program project Hibernate test application. Okay, now this one only, right? Okay, so open the pom.xml. My system getting too much slow. It's not responding. What is this? System is getting slow. Yeah. Okay. So in the dependencies tag, we will paste it, right? We will paste it. After then, which one more dependency we have need? Which dependency? MySQL. MySQL dependency, right? MySQL Maven dependency. Okay. I will copy 5.x this one. I copied it, and after then I pasted it inside that pom.xml. I want a compiler also, Maven Java compiler, Maven compiler, right? Maven compiler. Copy and paste inside the property. Okay. So after then one more things we have need. What is that? So here see only three. What is this? A system is too much hanging now. Even the configuration also my system is good only, but it's still okay. So inside that come in the src, right? Right click on the main, right click on the main, right? I have need to create one folder also where I will write what, resource, right? Resource where I will write. So okay, inside that what is that? resources resources folder I'm creating now. Okay na? After see inside that main the resource folder is created, but here it's not came, right? So what we will do now, right click on the project. Now go inside the Maven, update the project. Now select the force now update the project. Are required dependency related to what? Related to Hibernate, and after then what is that? Version will change, and here one folder will create, right? After updation of the project. Yeah, the things is completed now. Okay, so see here the one resource folder is created now. Array system hanging now. Yes, see resources folder is created now. Here the classes is created now. Okay na? And whatever the required dependency we have need, all dependency comes inside what? Inside what? Our Maven dependency. Okay na? So let's start the write the water. Come here in the diagram only, come in the model class, right? Let's write this model class based on this one only, right? Based on this one only. Okay, so come here. So I'm going to write the model class. Okay, right click new and use the class. Okay na? Actually by default our Maven is creating the package inside the this one. I don't have need that those packages. I will create my own, so I will delete it. Hmm. Right click on the in the src main Java. Here what is that? com.rk dot what is that? Model, right? Model. Okay, here what a employee. The class name is what? Employee. Okay na? Okay, so okay, here what is that? Private integer emp, what is that? ID, right? Private string emp name, right? Here what is that? Private is double emp cell, right? Emp cell. Now generate setter and a getter method, right? Generate setter and a getter method. All shift s plus r. Select all, right? Generate it. Now alt shift s plus s. Now to string also I'm generating. Okay, now our class is ready, but I said that come inside that I said that which annotation is mandatory, which annotation is mandatory? Entity and ID, these two annotation is mandatory. I will show the problem also, right? But I will apply in the top of what is that? At the rate entity, right? Mon at the rate entity should be in the Java persistency API, right? See in the Hibernate also entity is there in the Hibernate also, but we have need to import which one? Java x dot persistence JPA annotation, right? So I used what? JPA, Java persistency annotation. right? After then the top of I want to make emp id as a what primary key. So what we will do now, at the rate id, right? I will apply at the rate id. So just these two annotation is mandatory, right? Mandatory. Yes. Why integer? Because we are going to perform what is that object operation, and we know that, if you know that, right, in the database, Oracle data means any database, not a database, right? Int also by default data type is what? Null. And if we take int and we perform the if we perform the operation, right, and if we not taking any id, so at the time in the database zero will become means it will show the record, in the database. Okay na? So 1 minute, because of that. And in the database terminology, if null is there means there is no record. If null is there means we will then we can understand there is no record. But if zero is there means it will show the what? It will show the what? Hey, my system is too much hanging today. It's not giving the proper response. Okay, I will show that, right? So think about that. This is the employee. Come here, right? Come here. What is that? If empid means this empid data type is int only, right? Int only. Int, but by default value is what? Null. And in the Java, int data type by default value is what? Zero. So if here, if we store the zero, then it will represent the id, primary id key zero or not. And null means nothing, right? Null means nothing. So because of that, I'm taking what? Integer. And the real time also we are taking integer object only. And we know that integer object by default value is what? Null. So because of that, I'm taking. I think you got the point, right? This is the OOP concept. Whatever, got the point or not? Please use the chat box. Note it. You got the point. I have need gotten. Okay, fine. If still doubt is there, let me know that. Again, I will explain, right? Don't worry. I will take integer also, and I will show the problem at the practical time. Give the time, right? Give the time. Okay, each and everything, whatever your doubts is there, right? I will clarify the doubts. Okay. So now this is the entity class, means this class we our ready, right? And mapping also using entity and id, those id we applied means mapping also completed. Okay na? No need to map. Okay. So now after then, which configuration, Hibernate configuration, we have need to write this file, right? We have need to write this file. Okay na? So okay, so if we want to write this file, what we will do now? Come inside, right? Come inside the Eclipse id. Okay. So where we have need to src.main.resource folder we created, inside that we will write it. We will write that. So new we will select the file, right? New we will select the file. What is that file? I selected the file. Okay na? That file name I'm just giving what? Any name. Hibernate cfg.xml I'm giving, right? XML dot extension XML is mandatory, right? Now finish it. The file is created inside what? Resource folder, right? In the resource folder, file is created. Fine. So, but to write this property, we have need to prolog, Hibernate prolog, right? So I'm going to give you people a too much simple prolog, how we will write that prolog, right? So no need. So in the come here in the Maven dependencies is there na? In the Maven dependency, Hibernate core first one only there. In the Hibernate code, if you extract it, okay, org Hibernate is there again. Extract this one and come the last one. What is that? Hibernate configuration 3.0 DTD is there na? Open this one. Open this one. After then he come to from here to here, right? DTD this one, this much, right? Copy this one and paste on the top of this one. Okay na? Top of this one. To work Hibernate configuration, we have need to this DTDC. Then we can able to write what? Then we can able to write what? All tags, all related tags, whatever related tags are there, then we can able to write it. Okay na? So now come to now then start the what is that? What? Hibernate configuration tag. This is the root, and its child tag is what? Session factory. These two tag we will write na. So now write session. What is that? Hibernate configuration. one tag. Okay, now second tag is what? Hibernate session factory, right? These both tag we wrote it, right? Inside that, let's write the properties, whatever property we wrote. What is that? mm, four four property, Hibernate property, and four property is what? Fourth property is what? Database information property. Okay na, so let's write it. Okay, Hibernate, sorry, property tag, right? Property tag hibernate dot connection dot, what is that? Connection dot, what is that? Driver underscore, what is that? Class, right? Driver underscore class only, right? One property is there, right? We will copy from the internet the properties, all those things. Okay na, so now just what is that? Eight property, work do teen, this four property about what is that? Hibernate. So second one is what is that? URL, right? URL, this one is what? Password, this one is what? Username, sorry, username, this one is what? Password, this one is what? Password. Now fourth property about what? Hibernate, right? Hibernate. Now property tag, right? Four property we will write it na. I will show the each and everything here. Okay na, do teen char. Okay, so here what is that? Hibernate dialect, Hibernate dot, what is that? Dialect, dialect, right? Dialect. Okay na, now here what is that? Hibernate Hibernate dot, what is that? Format underscore SQL, right? After then here what is that? Hibernate dot so underscore, what is that? SQL, so underscore SQL, right? So here what is that? HBM to DDL dot auto, right? Auto, just then one more, what is that? Mapping, I said that mapping, now class mapping, right? Now class mapping here, com dot rk dot, what is that? Model dot employee class, right? Employee class, fine. All things is completed now. Okay na, so come here, so come to internet, let's take the internet help. And what is that? MySQL URL, just I'm going to copy from what? The MySQL URL from what? Internet. Okay na, so Java T point only here. This is what? The driver class name, I'm copying this driver class name. Okay na, from what? Internet. Okay, copy this one and come inside that, what? Here paste it. Okay, here paste it. Okay, so now URL, what is the URL? What is the URL? Come, this one is the URL. Okay na, this one the URL only. From here to here, copy it from here to here. Okay, after then what we will do now? We will paste it here. Okay, after pasting that username, my database, my SQL database root is there, right? Root, and password also root only, right? But here we have need to give the database name also. Here employee is there, see, employee, I'm deleting this employee table. Employee table is there na, I'm dropping this employee, drop the table, I drop that, right? In the employee, this is the what? Database in the MySQL, this is what? Database is there. See, there is no table is there, employee name, right? So but emp, this is what? Our database name, this is what? Our database. So here what we will do now? Here emp, we will give the database name here. Okay, so these much things. But here dialect, we have need to copy the based on what? MySQL dialect. So what we will do now? Alt shift T, if we type in the right. So I already, so what we will do now? I already selected na, so because of that it's showing here. So what we will do now? MySQL, if we write MySQL SQL, right? So all dialect, MySQL SQL, what is that? Dialect. If we write whatever dialect is there, but you have need to select dialect, what is which dialect, right? MySQL. If you write na, see multiple MySQL things will come, right? MySQL 57 dialect, MySQL 57 but you have to select what MySQL 55. So click that class, copy this class name, right? Copy this class name and paste here, right? Paste here. After then, but this one is what fully qualified package name. Okay na? Again, open that class and come to top org hibernate dialect, the package name also you have to copy and paste inside that, what paste inside that dialect tag. Okay na? So now fine, the things is completed. Okay, so now the things is completed. So by default this one is what, false only, so make this one as a true. Here also this one is a true, make the true only. Okay, so after then what is that, here HBM, just I'm taking what, create, right? Create. Okay, so this configuration also completed now. Okay na, this configuration also completed. Let's write the test class, right? Let's till now we completed. Now see, till now from here whatever our explanation was there, till now we completed it. Okay, we completed. Now let's write the test class, right? Based on this diagram. Okay now, based on this diagram let's write the test class. Okay now, and I will tell where I'm writing what. Okay, so now come inside that and write the one test class. Okay, write one test class. Okay, so here only I'm going to create one package again. Right now the new, right click on the here, what is that, I'm taking what, test class package, right? Test test. What is that, test? Now test, select main method. Okay now finish it. After finishing it, okay na, so what we will do now, okay, so I said that, right? I said that, so if we want to load, come here, if we want to load this configuration file in what, where, in which object we have need to create configuration object. So let's create the configuration object. Okay na, let's create CONFIGU configuration CFG equal to new configuration. Okay na, configuration object is created, but I have need to give that, what is that this file to this configuration object. For that, which method we will call, configuration method we will call na. So it will search in the class path, right? It will search in the class path this file, right? The, okay, if the class path, the file is there, then it will inject in this object, right? So how we will do that? Okay, come here, just we will call cfg dot, what is that, config, just config, right? CONFIG config. Just we, after calling this method, right, this configuration file will load by default here, right? By default, because this is there in the means class path resource. If the there in the resource folder, then it will load by directly, right? No need. Otherwise, if they are in the any class folder, then here we will give that folder name we will give. But the by default that file is given in the class path, so no need to give the path here. Okay, so whenever we will call all information about Hibernate database, and what is that, Hibernate will load in the configuration object, in the information will load in the configuration object. So I said that, right? I said that. So for that, to perform what is that operation, we have need what, factory, right? To call the factory method, what is that, session factory method, right? So how we will call CFG, right? CFG. So come here, what method I said that here, build a session factory, right? For that, which method we will call, CFG dot what, bu build build what is that, session factory. Whenever we will call that, right? So all information will come, this information from the configuration object. Hibernate information will come from the configuration object in the this, using this method in the session factory, right? So then we will build a session factory sf. This is the interface, right? Session factory is what, interface, control shift. Oh, okay. So till now, come here, what is that, till now the operation we completed, right? So till now we are operation we completed now. So we have need, what is that, we have need to save the object, means this data, this table, I want to what is that, this information, right? So okay, no problem, just by, okay, that's good only, okay na. So whenever we will call the session, right, whenever we will call the session, okay na, whenever we will call the session, just run the application. I'm going to run the application, right? See, come in the table, right, come in the database, there is no employee table is there na. I'm running this application, till now I'm running the application. Application is running now, okay. Yeah, see, means still table by default table is created in the database. Come, there is no in employee table is there na, right click and refresh. See, employee table is created or not, without means employee table is created, and if you want to see, there is no data in the employee table. So who's created our ORM framework? And now come in the first picture, right? Just by configuring, I said that na, I have need to configure by just by giving the database and a hibernate, what is that hibernate things, okay na, hibernate things, just it's created, right, it's created without a data, without a data, what is that, just we mapped it, right, entity and ID. So based on this one, the class name will become, means class name will become in the database table employee, and this attribute will become filled or not, filled or not. Come here, see here, the class name will be employee class, we take in model class, we take in employee, right, the class name will become what, employee, and all attribute become filled or not, emp id, emp name, emp sal, right? So yes, yes, Suraj. Yeah, here by default only our Hibernate is generating automatically employee ID. Yes, yes, we can. Don't worry. I will touch those things. That is the first. You have to habituate for first things, right? First learn A, then try to write Apple until unless A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y Z, till now if you not learn, and if you write, if anybody say that write apple, you can't, you have the capacity to write apple? No, first learn A to Z, A B C D, right, then you have to try to write apple. Okay, okay, so now I want what is that, till now what I did, I load that configuration information about what, all entity class and the database class, and based on that I perform the operation and I created the table, right, just calling the session factory, right? So now, okay, come here, okay now, come in the diagram. So next level discussion, let's go to next level. Means till now we completed, now based on that the Hibernate is completed the operation, but I need what, to save the data also, right? I need some data also to save in the table, right? I need to save the data also. So how we can, so for that we will build a session, right, session object, we will build a session. In that session we will perform what is that, non-select operation and select operation, both operation we will perform in the session only, right, session only. So for that what we will do now, okay, come here, okay. Okay, so what we will do now, session factory, just we will take this session factory reference. After then, what is that, open, what is that, open session. Now I open the session, okay na. After opening the session, what we will do now, okay, we will take what is that session session object. For that session interface is there, right, we holded that session object here only. Inside that, what is that we are going to save that, right? For that we will write one save method also. In the Hibernate, one save method is there to saving the data, right? Save, I will call this method, right, I will call the save method in the Hibernate. Save method, in that I will pass that emp object, right, emp object I will pass. Then the data will become what, then whatever the data is there, those data will save inside the table, right? So okay, still see, there is no data in the table, right, there is no data in the table. So I want to save the data, right, I want to save the data. So for that what we will do now, so if we want to, I said that for the save operation, if we want to perform save, means create, update, delete operation, means create, update, what is that, update and delete, these operation if we want to perform, right? Transaction management we have need, right? Transaction management we have need. So what is that transaction? Transaction, what is that? Tx equal to what is that? Session dot begin transaction, right? Begin transaction tx equal to what is that? Ses dot what is that? Begin. Why not is coming? Session dot, yeah, begin transaction, right? After the beginning the transaction, what we will do now? Okay, so for that we, the employee table is there, we have to, here only I'm creating the employee object also, right? Employee emp equal to what is that? New employee, right? I'm creating the object, and emp what is that? Set, right? I'm setting the data. Emp set, what is that? 101, right? emp dot what is that? Set, right? Emp dot what? Set. Now what is that? Ravi, I'm giving what? My name only. After then what is that? Emp dot what is that? Set what is that? Sell, right? Sell salary, just something, anything, okay na? This is what employee object is. Just I'm giving employee one only here. Okay na, this one only, okay na? So after then I want, what is that? I want, okay, transaction management, I want to save the data in the table, right? In the table. So transaction management, using the transaction management we will perform the operation, right? Begin transaction we perform it, okay? So to perform means operation we will perform. To performing this operation, I said that this method we will call here, right? So performing that save operation, so what we will do now? Come here, right? So what is that? Session dot what is that? Save method we will call. Save method we will call, and this save method what we will do now? This one, copy this one, employee one, and paste it, right? Paste it. After then, see, if you run the data will not store. If you just run the application, see, still everything will happen, but in the database table means that this 101 Ravi and all those things will not store, okay na? I will show that. See, again, drop table will happen and create the table, but still, see, in the database table, I'm refreshing it, right? I'm refreshing this table, right? I'm refreshing it. So still see that there is no data. So until unless if we not call what? Commit method, then it will not. So come in the diagram, right? Come in the diagram, okay? Come in the diagram. So for that, whenever we will call the save method, okay, whenever we will call the save method, Hibernate will generate, right? Hibernate will generate what? Save of a 1 minute, friend, someone is calling me, okay na? Just 1 minute, 1 minute. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now, so until unless if we not call commit method, right, then the data will not persist in the table. So for that, what we will do now? Come here, right? So come here. Okay. Now what is that transaction? Tx dot commit. Let's see. OWM commit. Okay, I'm calling this commit method. When I will call this commit method, right, then at the time of calling what, then our data will store in the table, okay na? Then our data will store in the table. Now now application is still running mode, okay? See, our Hibernate generated or not? Insert into employee name, this placeholder. See, by default we don't have need to write that what query our Hibernate is doing. Just refresh it and see 101 Ravi and 200. It came or not inside what? Our table, inside our what? Table. So we are performing what now? Just we perform what? Save operation. Because of that we taken what? Transaction management. So whenever we have need to, whenever we will call the select operation, at that time we don't have any transaction management. So okay na. So let's see that, right? Let's see that the four property I given or not. I given the based on I explained here, right? Format and the underscore SQL, right? Come here. Just we will